Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Circle of Debate podcast, top 5 of the week. Obviously, we did mention that we're going to do the top 5 factions, but unfortunately, things changed due to the announcement of the Undertaker announcing his retirement on the Chapter 5 Last Ride episode. Him announcing that it was done after doing the Boneyard match with AJ Styles. So we want to go ahead and dedicate this episode of Top 5 to the Undertaker, because all of us here, we love the Undertaker very much, so much that we gotta give him our thank yous. A big thank you to you, Mark Calloway. We thank for everything what you've done, what you brought to the sport of professional wrestling, and bringing that character, the Undertaker, to being the hottest star in professional wrestling. So once again, my name is Ivan C, the devious one here, your host, alongside with the repetition killer of all killers, Josh Ben Horton, and also the American hero, Mike Lopez. Co-host right there, and also our special guest as well joining us, doing the top 5 of the Undertaker's moments. We got Mr. Too Sweet, Mr. Matthew MGC.
We gotta have the Undertaker when his fist up, riding away with that motorcycle.
Yes, riding away. Yeah. So that's what I want to start off, ladies and gentlemen. We saw, obviously, last ride, chapter 1 through 5. It was very emotional. First time that we see Mark Calloway, the Undertaker, being that way. This is how you can tell the man is a godfather of pro wrestling. Man, this man, it brought a tear in my eye for him to expose a lot of things what he said on all 5 chapters, and the way how he felt about professional wrestling. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask Mr. Killer your thoughts. What are your thoughts about the whole 5 chapters? What was like the favorite moments of all time for you on that 5 chapters?
Oh man, there's so many, man. This guy is such an icon. He's talking about in one of the episodes where he's in Madison Square Garden. He sees Elvis's picture and Muhammad Ali's picture, and his picture's right below Elvis's. That's how big this guy is, And the tribute that Madison Square Garden did to him was very fitting because, it's the Undertaker. There's only one Undertaker, and there'll only ever be one Undertaker. But some of the greatest moments, like him finally being able to open up. And, I love we're finally getting to see the man behind the gimmick. We're finally getting to see Mark Calloway, the person in his life. And with him opening up like this, I see the Hall of Fame really soon in his future. That's what they're doing this for, so he can be able to talk at the Hall of Fame and all that. Some of the favorite moments, we saw interviews from Austin and Orton and AJ Styles, and Kurt Angle, Bray, Shawn Michaels, even Bret Hart, just to name a few. And of course, he talks about the concussion that he had at WrestleMania, and he did say that it was supposed to be that way. He was supposed to lose to Lesnar at Mania 30, so he let everybody know that, and which a lot of people was mad about. I was shocked about, but I wasn't mad about it. But the Undertaker, man, this last ride, man, it's been a hell of a series, man. There's so many moments from it. So if I could get to just a few of the moments, man.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Taker versus Reigns was like Flair versus HBK. To me, because it was like he was trying to put him down, People thought, Undertaker doesn't look real good in this match or everything. I don't know if he was doing that on purpose or what, but it came across like Shawn Michaels HBK versus Ric Flair, when Ric Flair had his retirement. And the discussions he had where he was talking about the end of the era match with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee versus Triple H in that Hell in a Cell. What a fucking match that was. And to see those three in an unplanned moment, just standing right there together. A lot of people said that should have been it for Taker. But Taker, to me, should decide when it's it for Taker, you know? And let me see what else I got here. You know, Taker, he was disappointed that he didn't give Roman that good match. But to me, I think he did put on a good match. Because like I said, it was like Flair, Shawn Michaels. If it would have been the end, if that would have been his last match, then that would have been the way it was. So I still think it came across good. But then you see Taker talking about his wife being his soulmate and that's how she's helped him through a lot. And it shows us a different side of Taker, like I said earlier. And he's been like a father figure to a lot of these young guys. I mean, you've never seen Hulk Hogan at the power plant in the WCW days going and helping the young guys at 50-something years old and taking bumps. But we see the Undertaker going to NXT and helping out the young guys and giving them advice and all that.
Locker room leader, man.
And he talked about, I think he talked about being the judge, you know, when they used to have Wrestlers Court. And
oh yeah,
I mean, yeah, he's like Andre, man. Andre worked till he couldn't barely walk anymore. That's how much he loved the business. The Undertaker is the backbone of the WWE. You know, when everybody else took off the WCW, he was still there. He never left. The match with John Cena got brought up, and Taker prepared for that match. He prepared for like a 20-minute match, but it ended up being like a 5-minute match. I think they could have done better on that match. I don't know why they didn't build it up more, but, you know, whatever. We still got Cena and Taker at Mania, man. Fuck it. Good or bad, we still got it. His match with Triple H at Super Showdown, they talked about their respect and their friendship for each other. Him and Triple H, man, such respect and such love for each other, man. They've been there. There was like the last two guys that was main eventers left from the Attitude Era, and to see those OGs out there putting it on, and I mean, of course, they talked Shawn Michaels into coming back and teaming up with Triple H, and we got DX versus the Brothers of Destruction for the first time. And Taker himself said this match was a clusterfuck. Like, it was bad. It was terrible, man. And even Triple H said something about it, man. He was like, it was like watching a bad comedy show. So they didn't want the match to go that way. Of course, Triple H got hurt and everything, but, you know, fuck it. We got it. I'm still glad they went out there and tried their best, man. And as far as the match with Goldberg goes, where he got his neck broke, which was ridiculous, a lot of people forget it was over 100 degrees that day. And when they was wrestling in Saudi Arabia, it was 100 degrees when they was wrestling the ring. And you got two guys that are not in their prime no more. So, I mean, I'm not making an excuse for them, but yeah. And then also Goldberg got a concussion during that match. So, I mean, I think they could have done better, even if they had a rematch, which a lot of people don't want to see. But if they had a rematch, I think they would do better in a better environment where it's not a fucking 100 degrees and Goldberg don't got a concussion. So, I mean, I don't know. I love The Last Ride. Let me see what I had on episode 4 here. Yeah, they showed an interview with Paul Bearer. They showed a lot of scenes that we've never saw before from the backstage area. We saw Undertaker and Kane and Paul Bearer and all them talking backstage. I mean, we even saw Kane at one point with his mask off. And a lot of people would have paid good money to see that back in the 90s, man, before he revealed himself to the world. I mean, but this was out.
Unmasked Glenn Jacobs.
Yeah, this was out there. It was on video, but we couldn't see it at the time. So that's what's crazy to me. And, of course, he talked about his match teaming with Roman, the Graveyard Dogs versus Shane and Drew. And Taker said he loved that match, and he thought it was it. He thought that was the last match for him. He even went up to Vince and he said, I think that's it. I think that's it. But it wasn't. It wasn't, and Taker kept going and get on to the final chapter of this, man. Undertaker thought that it was it after his match at Extreme Rules. Also, man, the easy person to lie to you is yourself, and that's a quote from Triple H about the Undertaker. You know, you can believe your own lies. You can tell yourself that you're not done and all that. But either way, man, Undertaker's a fucking legend. And oh man, the Boneyard match, I had no idea. Like the day before the Boneyard match, that the Undertaker got a call from his niece that his brother had passed away. And then they had to film the match the next day. And he's around all these caskets and shit. And also, I didn't have no idea that when he hit his arm against the window of that car, that it really cut open his arm. That was real. I thought that was a work, you know. But he cut it open. They had to stop filming for a while. Kind of his adrenaline went down. But for him to get through a match like that, just a day after finding out that his brother had passed away, man, that had to take a lot. And that's why I have a lot of respect for the Undertaker, man. And is he done yet? Of course, he announced his retirement on the last episode, and we also we saw him telling everybody thank you on Twitter and in a tweet. But I do think that if he was going to wrestle one more match, it should be at Survivor Series, and that it would probably be against AJ Styles, because we saw at Money in the Bank they were still teasing something between Taker and AJ, where AJ even saw he saw a picture of the Undertaker at Titan Towers or whatever you want to call it, and he got kind of scared or whatever. So who knows? Who knows? If there's anybody, he said, if there was anybody going to bring him back for another match, it was AJ. So I would love to see them in the ring together, because I would like to know when I'm watching somebody's final match, because I want to soak it in. I want to savor it, you know. But if he does want to go out with his last match being with AJ in the Boneyard match, then fuck it. It was a damn good match, bro. It was a damn good match and a damn good career. Either way, the Undertaker always be above an icon in the business of professional wrestling. He is the backbone of the WWE. He is what Sting was to WCW. He is what AJ Styles was to Impact. He is what Okada is to New Japan and more. This man is WWE backbone, man. The Undertaker.
Definitely. Don't forget, he was the Ric Flair of the NWA. So
That's
remember that. Mr. Hero.
Wow. Man, Josh, that was a good review there. Man, what a career this man had. You know, it just goes to show that once in a while, here comes a guy that is perfect for a role. He's in the perfect company, doing the perfect thing. You see the careers of guys like Stone Cold or The Rock, or even Batista and John Cena nowadays, that they've gone on and done movies or done other stuff. But The Undertaker, he was, like Josh said, the backbone. He stayed there. He did not jump to WCW. He canceled his appearance at the autograph signing. Starcast. You know, all this stuff. He's WWE through and through, and those are the kind of people that you put the rocket to and you push them to the moon. You know, so he's earned everything that he's earned in his career. For me, man, you know, seeing these backstage moments that never before seen. I'm glad that it was waited so long to see it until now, because we look back and, you know, we appreciate the journey, and we can see now things that we never thought we would see. Especially like the backstage segments with Paul Bearer. Knowing how much of a relationship they had as manager and as wrestler. So that was cool. Definitely for me, like Josh said, also that moment where he has his picture with Elvis on the same wall, and man, like imagine having your picture on the most famous arena next to your hero, to the guy that you're a fan of. That's amazing, and but yeah, and for me always, and I'm going to mention this in among my top 5, the streak. It became, arguably, it became bigger than the championship. It was something that I cannot see it ever being done again. The streak was something very, very special, and the moment when it ended, I just it was shocking, and it was as a wrestling fan, the moments that you look forward to. So definitely I enjoyed this documentary. Great stuff.
Yo,
Yeah.
ministry era Taker.
Oh, and yeah, the way he reinvented
1999 Undertaker, best one for me.
For me, that's one of my favorite theme songs of all time. Exactly. That, one of my favorites. But yeah, definitely a great documentary. And, even for a non-wrestling fan, I think it would be cool to watch. So there you go. So, those are my thoughts.
Definitely, I agree, 100%. MGC, I don't know if you saw all the Chapter 5s, but I mean, what are your thoughts about Undertaker's career?
So Taker, we talked about the streak, and we talked about the ending of the streak with Brock, and the thing that all the fans really wanted to see, and this has been talked to countless times, but Undertaker versus Sting, that was that was one of the biggest cards of the century. Like it's probably on the same level as Rock versus Hulk Hogan or Stone
And they
Cold
blew it. They blew it, man. They gave the match to Triple H. And they gave it to Triple H.
Yeah, they blew it. But there are two things that, like, even though Taker's retiring and Sting's retired, the thing that makes it popular, like, still possible, because even Stone Cold was talking about possibly coming back. And the great thing is time. There's new medical technology, and all these men are still alive, and it's I'd rather have a retired wrestler still be around than have them suffer like from ring injuries and stuff like that. So he, like, an amazing worker, but like it did happen though. I actually did a little bit of research. Mark Callis versus Sting sometime in the early 90s or late 80s, and it happened at a house show. And somebody has video footage of it.
Oh, it's on YouTube, I believe.
It's on YouTube.
WCW. Yep.
And people are looking.
When he was Mean Mark.
Yeah, when he was Mean Mark, and everybody's looking for that, and we need that video footage. That's I'd rather I mean, we could watch them come out of retirement and do their match, or we could watch them as they were in the 80s. I just like seeing those two just hang out together. I'd be happy just to see Sting and Undertaker host a show about the South, or have like Undertaker show Sting around his house in Texas, in Sweetwater. It's Sweetwater, Texas is his hometown, I think. Put that city on the map.
I heard that WrestleMania that Sting was at, that Undertaker and Sting shared a locker room together. They shared one by themselves together.
That's cool.
Yeah, how did they have them under the same roof
That
and don't do it?
31.
31, yeah, 31.
I was there.
I mean, I would rather watch, like, no diss to Triple H, but all diss to Triple H. I'd rather watch those two hang out in the locker room together than the match with Sting versus Triple H. Because that's other memorable moments with Undertaker. Here's some that people don't think about that I think about pretty constantly. You guys remember when Tommy Dreamer was into like that gross stuff where he was like eating his own hair and stuff?
Yeah. He ate Undertaker's tobacco.
It was
Wait,
spit.
wait. Are you doing your top 5? Not yet, right?
No, not yet.
All right, perfect.
I guess not. Yeah, because
Perfect.
that's not on my list. That's like honorable mentions from my list.
All right. Let me
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, Taker and all. That's Taker versus Sting is like the biggest thing I always come to mind whenever they bring him up. But other than that, I really like him as like there was that time period of Undertaker's career where he was rather than like the supernatural gimmick, he was like it was like after the American Badass babyface when he was like a heel American Badass and just it's like you think you're better than me? You should I've been kissing Vince's ass for so many years. Like, yeah, I love that. And he forces JR to kiss Vince's ass, and that angle was to turn Undertaker heel. And I actually really like that. And the Undertaker, like it was kind of like corporate sympathizer Undertaker, sort of. And I actually really like that. I thought it was like really underrated. He was more of like a realistic heel. And it's a perfect time. Like when you have heels like that, those are really good to have. I think his match with Jeff Hardy, I didn't put that on my list, but that was like if Undertaker wasn't a heel at that time, if he wasn't that corporate heel, it wouldn't have made Jeff Hardy as over and beloved at that moment, because it was like the ladder match where it was Jeff Hardy versus Undertaker, and I really thought Jeff was going to win it. And then at the end,
that was one of those rare matches. It was on Raw, right?
Yeah, it was on Raw.
Yeah, see, that's one of those rare matches that happen on Raw that sticks with you, like Guerrero and Van Dam in the ladder match.
That was pay-per-view quality, because it was for the title, and there was that moment after where Undertaker, like Jeff Hardy was like struggling to get to his feet on the. You haven't broken me yet, Taker. And then Undertaker, you think he's gonna beat up Jeff Hardy, but he just raises Jeff Hardy's arm, and that was like one of my favorite moments. It was like he was like a sympathetic heel. In a way, it's like he's a heel who has honor, like a code of honor,
I think for me, he broke character from there because he finally realized, like, damn, Jeff Hardy was like, he was on it, and that's how I felt about it. But for me, the way how I felt about Undertaker's career, like I said, it was very like tearful for me because it's like this is a man that I honestly cherish a lot for his career, what he's done. Watching the chapter 1 and 5 expose a lot that he is a godfather in the locker room, like the locker room leader, how you guys said it. And so he has that. He's a godfather of professional wrestling. He's a godfather of what, how to make people to become stars. And he took that sacrifice. You forgot. Remember, I think it was this chapter or the recent chapter, and I forgot, or chapter 4. He mentioned about, like, Vince was like, when he put over Randy Orton, what are you doing? Like, I'm putting this kid over. Ain't that what we're all about? We're supposed to be putting people over. And that's what I love about him. I think that's what people respect him a lot, that he was able to go ahead and take, like, John Cena, Randy Orton, take, like, anybody else as developmental. Even, like, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was a mid-card guy, and he pushed Jeff Hardy to become, like, a top card level person as well. I mean, and he did it with Mr. Kennedy. He did it with MVP at the time. He did it with a lot of people. I get him even with Mark Henry. Mark Henry was not even over. He took that Mark Henry match WrestleMania for him to take it over, like try to put Mark Henry over, and that's awesome that he's doing that. That's a real professional wrestler that is willing to go ahead and take his team to the next level, because he knows that he's not getting any younger anytime soon. He's going to get older and older, and there's going to be a time that he's going to have to hang his boots. And, yeah, Shawn Michaels did it because he knew that was his time for him to go, especially with Taker. Taker was the one who would retire. He rather has Taker retire him than anybody else, than John. He'll take him over John Cena or Randy Orton automatically.
I don't blame him. I don't blame
him either.
Who's the legend, man?
Yeah,
why not?
Hunter could have done it, but it didn't make no sense. Because why Hunter gonna? No, it doesn't make any sense if Triple H does it. It does. So I mean that it makes sense that Taker did it, and then obviously for me that got to me the most, that I understand why Taker really went towards that retirement, announcing it after AJ. One, he knew that he need that one in his resume, and that's something that AJ wanted too, because AJ did not go to WWE for no reason. He wants that resume with the Undertaker, and I agree with you that they should have one more in the ring, not in the boneyard, in the ring. Don't get me wrong, the boneyard was great. I loved everything. The cinematic was dope. I loved it. It was awesome. But I think AJ and Taker, they both want to have that. But at the same time, I want to see Daniel Bryan and Taker too. What about that? I want to see Daniel Bryan and Taker. Why not have that one too? I'm not saying Daniel Bryan should be the last one. I'm saying at least have Daniel Bryan in one of them, and then have then AJ. There's so many you can have with Taker, but we know that the times are already, he is not 20 years, younger. He's already at his, he could be the best shape in his life, but he can't move as quick as possible anymore. I think the main part why he decided to retire is what he saw with Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
When he saw that with Kobe, that Kobe Bryant, dear basketball, when he did all that, prior before that, but you saw that why Kobe decided to retire. Because he didn't, you hear Undertaker what he said on his last chat on, I forgot it was the last one or probably before that. I don't spend time with my family anymore. I want to be the best father. I want to be the best husband. I want to be, him mentioning, and he mentioned Kobe Bryant, like how he retired and then he passed away. Like it hurted him. Like you saw Taker was hurting that Kobe passed away. And that's what his mind came through. His mind was more like, shit, I don't want to die in the ring. What if, like he almost broke his neck against Goldberg. But like I said, that's not his fault. Neither is Goldberg. Shit happens. That's understanding. Like he was concussed anyways, but he kept on going with the show. They could have stopped the show, but I'm pretty sure Goldberg told the referee, keep on going, I don't care. Like he was gonna throw the X, but you could tell Goldberg was like, nope, I gotta keep on doing it, but he tried. So I think that's what I kind of woke up Undertaker right there. When that match happened, I woke him up, and then he realized, like, after, Kobe's death, he sees all that. He's like, he doesn't end up that way. And he understood why Kobe retired. I think the major thing is that that's what made him understand, for him, why to hang the boots and why to be like, I'll end it with AJ because he is the top level, even though he chose him over Daniel Bryan. But I wish it would have been Daniel Bryan and Taker. I mean, they're both the same level, AJ and Daniel Bryan, but I don't want to get into that. But the point is like, Taker chose, because of that reason, to retire. But he did sign, 15, 16-year contract?
15-year one.
Yeah, like he could just leave at 72 or close, but Taker, Vince did that for a reason, to lock him down. And he could say he could retire. He could bust the Ric Flair did when he got his shit in, at Raw, and then next thing you know, he's in fucking Impact. Like, then started wrestling again because he wanted to continue on wrestling. So I know Vince did it for that, but mainly because he owes him a favor. Because he did, for him, how you said, Josh, that he wrestled after his brother died. Like, that's steep. And the show must go on. Like, yeah, Vince owes him. That's a big O. So, like, yeah. Taker, he's going to be retired and getting all that money while he's at home. If he wants to come back, then he'll come back. But
you can tell by the interview Vince done, man. They said, "What does the Undertaker mean to the WWE?" And Vince started crying. He started crying. Yeah, started crying. Yeah. They love each other, man.
His favorite son.
Yeah.
Undertaker said that he wasn't going to go anywhere else. He never planned to go anywhere else, even though they had that disagreement with StarCast.
Yeah, because Conrad Thompson signed up for cars, for StarCast, but obviously Vince wasn't happy about it. Like, it's stupid. Like, he's just showing an appearance. It's not like he's not going anywhere. He's just showing up for the fans independently because he wanted to make money for himself. Like, let him be. That's ridiculous for him to try to stop that shit. It's stupid. Like, come on.
It sucks he's locked down for 15 years now.
Well, I mean, it's fine, but he should respect Undertaker's wishes. Like,
what do you think of Undertaker doing rather than sitting at home? What do you think of him taking on like a commissioner role or a manager role? Or
I see him as a
character.
No, I see him as a head trainer.
That's most likely. Yeah,
for the big guys, like you hear Punishment Martinez, like if it wasn't for Taker, I would not be here. That's Damian Priest saying it. Like, that's awesome to hear. He could train these other big guys, which obviously, I mean, no disrespect to Big Show at all. No, Paul White, he should have been in that era too. Like, and no disrespect to Matt Bloom, because Matt Bloom, he's up there too. But he's more he's watching overall. So it's like it's hard to focus on in each individual. And I think Taker will be a perfect fit to do that. Or, even be an agent of the head of the agent for, backstage WWE. Or don't involve him in creative.
Bruce Pritchard.
No.
I think he'd do a better job than Bruce Pritchard, though.
No.
Maybe.
I didn't know because let me remind you guys two things. One thing, number one, obviously, The Undertaker is a Paul Heyman guy because he was found by Heyman. He was Mean Mark. So, and also don't forget that before he went over there, he was also a Jim Cornette guy with Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So that's another one there too. Do not forget that as well. Bruce Pritchard, on the other hand, helped The Undertaker to develop his character more in the WWE. And then when they bring in, obviously, Percy Pringle, Paul Bearer, when they brought him in, and then obviously they, because he's been in the business forever, to put him alongside with him made perfect sense and
better fit too. Better fit, brother love.
Yes, better along the road, and that was Bruce's choice. Bruce, because he said it. Doesn't make no sense for me to be here for it. I'm supposed to be like, I love you, guy. Well, he's like a dark, evil Undertaker guy, like burying people, putting in a damn body bag. To be Paul Bearer, like a Paul Bearer, actually,
Yeah.
So, so it made sense that Pringle did that for The Undertaker, and he was there throughout his whole career. And you could tell that Taker that hurt him a lot. Come on, Taker never comes out of the Hall of Fame. He came out to go ahead and just give the, the hand for Paul Bearer at the Hall of Fame. Respect, because, they were the best stools of all time. So
speaking of that, right quick, when he does go in the Hall of Fame, who do y'all think should induct him? Because I think
Paul Heyman.
I think maybe Vince. I'm gonna go with Vince.
No, yeah, Vince too. Vince as well. If anything, it should be everybody. I say it should be Paul Heyman, Vince McMahon, Jim Cornette, and Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, definitely. If Eddie Guerrero could have three different people induct him, why can't Undertaker?
Yeah.
I think this should be all of them right there. I mean, obviously Paul Bearer.
Kane should be a part of it too.
Kane as well is another part of it too. Like, I think the whole roster could be there. Just everybody should be up there. Like
Glenn Jacobs.
Everybody. Everybody should be up there and thanking him because he was the one that pushed everybody's careers up there, and especially
he kept the company afloat during the hardest times, like with the start of the steroid scandal and WCW's rise. He was there 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely agree. And what I like about Undertaker shows, like, towards you guys, the audience, and everybody, pro wrestling fans out there, he showed his leadership, and it shows to inspire the uninspired to be the best of what you do, regardless of what you do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like do wrestling, pro wrestling, anything you do in your life. But this man pretty much teaches you how to go ahead and move forward with life and to pursue your dreams and never give up on it. And that's what I love about him a lot. He was a big influence to a lot of people, and even to non-wrestling fans, like how you said, Mike, is the same, could be a non-influence to everybody as well, because that's an inspiration story right there, honestly.
I think one of his most likely inductees, though, since since Paul Bearer passed away, he's no longer alive. He's no longer with us. Paul Bearer has 2 sons, or Percy Pringle, or we know him as Alan Moody.
Yeah.
He has 2 sons, Michael and Daniel. So it might be one of his sons that might also, that also seems very likely. So one of Paul Bearer's sons seems like, and you know, Taker probably knows one of Paul Bearer's sons personally. So he might have some family stories like, oh yeah, I knew him as Uncle Mark who would come to the house and blah, blah, blah. It might be something like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Also, man, I want to say, man, like, 15-year contract, what do I want to see Undertaker do for the next 15 years? You know, maybe pop up every now and then, do appearance, but not wrestle after he's retired. We know he's not going to wrestle after he's retired, obviously. But pop up, make his little pop-up appearances at Mania or whatever, big pay-per-view. But mostly what I want for the Undertaker is to enjoy the rest of his life and spend it at home with his family, you know, and enjoy the fruits of his labor. He got a little daughter with Michelle McCool, I believe. I mean, go fishing and just enjoy life because he deserves it, man. If anybody deserves to relax.
Hey, but that song they played, the Troubadour song, and that, oh my God.
Perfect. By George Strait.
It was perfect. I love George Strait. He's not a bad country artist. Man, but that's what kind of turned me up. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that was a great song for that moment.
Thank you, Taker. I appreciate it. And that was like, man, we love you, man. That's why I have it. This is a 100 series. I'm not opening this toy. It's for a reason, you know. So I'm not opening this toy. This is a 100 series. I'm not opening that one. Not at all. That's like my display up there that I have Austin and Taker as my top 2 because I just studied. I'm missing The Rock and I'm missing HBK and John Cena. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to want to take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to do our top 5 best Undertaker moments. So we'll be right back. I don't know. I guess we're getting a message again from the captain. Why the hell is he? Why is he keep bothering us? But we'll find out.
Where you at, Captain?
Where you at, man? Okay, we'll be right back. And then you hear our top 5. So I guess the captain is signaling in. So say hi to him. We'll be back.
Hey, why don't you shut the fuck up and teach me how to count? Circle of the Bay.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Undertaker review. Top 5 moments. Once again, your host, Ivan C, the devious one, alongside the American Hero, Mike Lopez, and also with Repetition Killer, Josh Bray Horton, and was Mr. MGC, Mr. Matthew. Gotta thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and actually now announce our top 5 greatest moments of the Undertaker. It doesn't matter if it's rivalry or career-wise, anything. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off with We'll start it with our guest, MGC. What's going on? Tell us your top to bottom, bottom to top.
I'm going to go bottom to top because we always like to save the best for last.
Absolutely.
Know. So I mentioned in the other one a little bit like honorable mentions, but I think I got a straight up. I think I only have one other honorable mention in here, but I'm going to start from the bottom. So you're not going to be expecting this one as much. Undertaker versus Rob Van Dam. That was something I really enjoyed because it was, I forgot what pay-per-view that was, but it was during the Invasion storyline. And it was nice to see, like, because Rob Van Dam, yeah, it was around that time period. And Rob Van Dam had a lot of the clout behind him, and then Undertaker's getting in the hardcore title picture. And I think Undertaker was like one of those hardcore champions that you just can't pin him randomly. He's such like, you know, you can't pin him like randomly like 24/7. You know, a guy that powerful as Taker or sold that powerfully. So he held that hardcore title for a long period of time, and it took either Big Show or The Rock to take that title off of him. So that was my number 5. Number 4. Another unexpected one coming out of nowhere, Tajiri versus Undertaker. I really love that match.
Shit.
There you go.
Hey. I forgot about that one, but I heard you know what? I think it was a good match in that one, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so that match had a lot of surprises because you usually sell the big guy a whole lot, but the great thing is Undertaker like did a great job working with Tajiri, and the way it looked like he put over the martial arts kicks, and the fact that a small guy like Tajiri could put a big guy like Undertaker on the ropes with the poison mist and the kicks and all of his variety of holds. Like it shows you, it was a really cool match. I like the differences in styles that those two had. The big guy style versus like the karate, like kung fu, like martial arts style. Number 3, I remember when I was watching the thing on the streak, it was talking about what Kevin Nash said. He says, I don't usually like to work with big guys because it looks like two Abrams tanks going against each other. But when it was Diesel versus Big Daddy Cool Diesel versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, you know, Taker made it look like such a cool match, even though they were like similar size and similar build. He made it like different styles. He made it look cool. And you know, like as cool as Kevin Nash is, sorry to say, he's a guy with not that many moves in his arsenal, but they made it a really cool match just because Taker was able to work it. Tied with that moment on honorable mention was Undertaker being part of one of the most unintentionally hilarious moments in WWF was, "It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. All along, it was me."
That was the what was the corporate ministry, right? That was
the greater power. I
I
like that as a meme, just to show, like, reveal people. Like, you never see your boss acting so over the top and ridiculous. Your own boss acting like that. Like, that's the only job you could have. Like, I don't know how Mark didn't crack up, like, seeing that. "It's me, Austin. It was me
No.
all along."
Ask Mike and Josh when I sent them a meme on Instagram about what Rollins and Becky Lynch. There was a meme about that, like, "It's me, Rollins. It's me. It was me all along."
Yeah.
Impregnating Becky Lynch.
And Undertaker was just standing there. Undertaker was just standing there like, man. I wonder what was running through his head. Number 4, my second best moment of all time with Undertaker. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. The entire storyline. I love how dramatic and serious. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell, like the first time they had Hell in a Cell.
Judgment Day 2002.
Yeah.
No Mercy.
Where Brock Lesnar
No Mercy or just no? You sure or no Judgment Day?
It was No Mercy. It was right after Unforgiven.
And it's where Brock Lesnar puts his hand on the pregnant stomach of Undertaker's wife, and it's just like, life's a bitch. And yeah, that stayed with me. And then Undertaker fought with the broken hand, and he was selling that the whole match. And I didn't really, because I was still kind of a mark when I was like 11 or 12, so I kind of believe part of it with, like, Undertaker really had a broken hand. And I was really like cheering for Undertaker to win. But like looking back at it now, I was like, wow, like those two really like told a great story. Those two, you know, Lesnar really sold, like Taker really sold really well, and it was really put together. And you know, I was really emotionally invested in it. Like I could see why Hell in a Cell is such a great match for like ending feuds, and it's like Hell in a Cell is such like a great like level. Like if two wrestlers really hate each other, and this is the last match those two will ever face each other in, it's Hell in a Cell. It's the perfect place to like end feuds as a like I think that's like one of the last times I think Hell in a Cell was like perfectly used, because it was so like emotionally charged. And then I mentioned this a little bit in the other episode, but my number one moment was the unseen moment. Sting versus Undertaker, or Sting versus Mark Callis in WCW.
Mean Mark versus Sting.
Yeah.
The Surfer Sting.
Surfer Sting.
Well, dude. Cowabunga, bros. Yeah.
Showtime, folks. Showtime. Like early WCW Sting was so intense. Like it's like you could smell like the freshness off of him. Like if I smelled early '90s Sting, he probably smells like the freshest fruit juice and an Irish Spring or something like that. Like the room just gets brighter the second that guy walks into it. You know. 80s, man. 80s. That colorful night.
Yeah, I agree with you. 80s was. I'm telling you. I mean, that's why I'm like a big Jim Cornette fan, because I liked his historian knowledge of pro wrestling and how he explains everything.
Oh, if this isn't a moment, but I guess the skyscrapers. That's the other thing. When Undertaker took the place of Sid Vicious's. Did he take Sid's place or did he take the other guy's place? The guy.
Which one?
The skyscrapers. When Mark was the skyscraper, he was like a substitute skyscraper for the other one. It was Sid Vicious and some other guy was the original skyscrapers, and then Undertaker had to be like the substitute.
Oh yes, yeah, he had to be. It was supposed to be. No. Sid Vicious was there. I think it was supposed to be. I think it was Adam Bomb at the time.
Yeah, Adam.
I think it was Adam. Yeah, no. It was Adam Bomb.
Skyscrapers.
Yeah.
No, it was Dan Spivey, and then it was Sid Vicious and Dan Spivey, and then Dan, like Undertaker had to take his place in that team. So
okay, Dan Spivey.
Dan Spivey. So that was like the other big one. That was like because those shoes are so damn big, hence the skyscrapers. It's like I need another skyscraper. I need another like big dude. We got Mark Calloway from Texas right here, and then bam, Now I have to go back and watch those matches.
Yeah, me too. I have to go back on that one. Definitely. Hey, also that's awesome moments, man. That's great that you mentioned all of them. I love them. That's really great. Oh my god. That's really shit.
I don't have enough from like the golden era because like I'd have to like Undertaker Hulk Hogan, like I have to rewatch it, and Undertaker Randy Savage. I don't know that whole feud because I didn't really watch the whole Randy Savage Undertaker feud or the Randy Savage Sergeant Slaughter or Randy Savage King Kong Bundy.
Right.
Yeah. Or King Kong Bundy Undertaker, sorry. Yeah.
That one too, okay, definitely. Alrighty. Mr. Killer. What do you got for us?
Oh, man. Like I said, man, there's so many Undertaker moments. Like, it's hard to narrow them down. So, actually, I wrote down a lot. But, yeah, I'll do the 5. I'll try to pick. Let me see. So, number 5 for me is Kane versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania the first time. When they first had their first feud, like we all know the story behind it, man, with Kane being the Undertaker's brother that Undertaker thought was dead, and finally getting to see those two in the ring at WrestleMania, and we thought, well, Kane's gonna beat him because they had Kane built up so good. Like Kane was this monster, man, that could not be stopped. He was like a Jason Voorhees character or some shit. But Undertaker ended up beating him. But that is a match right there. I can't remember if it was at Mania 13 or 14.
14.
14? Yeah. So that's like one of my first Manias watching. I think it's my second one, actually. But damn, man, Undertaker versus Kane the first time at Mania, that's a match that I could go back and rewatch again and again and again, because you see these two brothers that hadn't seen each other forever. Undertaker thought Kane was dead, but we found out Kane was alive in your house, you know what I mean? When he came in and tore that cell door down, and we finally seen them show each other their powers, their lightning was going everywhere, and we hadn't seen anything like that before, and this shit was crazy. And
yeah, especially when Vince was like, Kane's alive! Kane's alive! I remember that. It's gotta be Kane!
Oh my God!
Kane!
Oh my God! Look at him go! My God!
I mean, that had to be in my top 5, man, because damn. And also, it was a good fucking match. It was a good fucking match. I remember when I first watched it, I really fucking thought Kane had it. I thought Kane had it. So yeah, number 5, Kane versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 14. And then I want to go number 4. I want to go with let's see here. I want to go with the end of the era match. You know, we had, like I said earlier, we had Shawn Michaels, special guest referee, Triple H as his opponent, and man, what a fucking classic in the Hell in a Cell that was. I thought it was going to be the last time that we saw him wrestle. I thought it was going to be the last time that we saw these three in a ring together. And I thought it was the end of the childhood memories for me, man. It was hard.
But the memory remains.
It was hard to watch, man. And yeah, like I said, I even think Undertaker said on the last ride that he has a picture of them standing up there. You know, he has it framed. Him, Taker, and Triple H, he has it framed. He has it put somewhere either in his house or his gym. So, man, I didn't think Triple H was going to win that match, but damn, man, it was like a good match. And even Undertaker said himself, his 2 matches with Triple H and his 3 matches with Triple H or his 2 matches with Shawn Michaels, those was his favorites as far as Mania. So, I mean, yeah. So that's my number 4. And number 3, of course, the fall of Mankind. Oh, man. Undertaker versus Mankind in the Hell in a Cell. You remember the moment Undertaker threw Mankind off the top of the Hell in a Cell, because that moment gets replayed over and over and over and over. And it's one of those moments like Hogan slamming Andre that will always be an iconic moment for WWE history, man. It's
heard around the world. It was like the fall heard around the world.
It was. It was the fall of Mankind.
Oh, yeah.
And
it was the fall of Mankind. Bam, there you go.
It was, and then plus also Mankind accidentally, I think Undertaker choke slammed him or tombstone or whatever, and
somebody stop the damn match. Enough's enough.
Yeah, and remember,
my God, that man, by as God is my witness, that man is broken. My God,
that man's broken in half.
My God Almighty, he's broken in half. As God is my witness, he's broken in half.
Well, you remember even Mick Foley said it, that was his main career.
Oh,
he said it. That was his main career. I mean, that's what made him.
He had to give a few teeth up for that moment, but it was worth it.
Yeah. Go ahead and continue. My apologies.
All right. Let me see. Number three. I want to mention this one too, man. Taker versus Kurt Angle at No Way Out.
Ooh.
I mean, man,
that was a good match.
It was a massive
triangle lock. The triangle lock.
Oh yeah. What else did he call it? Hell's Gate. Hell's Gate. My fucking God, man. I got that match on DVD, man. I went and bought it on DVD. That it was so good back then. And I watched that match over and over and over. I mean, damn, man. I expected just another match out of these two. But when they went out there, man, they fucking killed it, man. One of the greatest matches of all time.
Yeah.
If you ask Kurt Angle, man, what was one of his favorite matches? It's got to be that No Way Out match against Undertaker.
I think that was his best one compared. The best one over the first time. Remember they met. Mike and I play. My brain is like not much there functioning. But do you remember the first time they met? Remember when Undertaker was badass?
Survivor Series 2000.
There you go. So yeah, I think this one, No Way Out, was better because I think this one. Agree with me if I'm wrong, Mike, because I know you're a big Kurt Angle fan. I think this is the one that Taker actually put him over on this match because it was a physicality match. I mean, do you agree or yes or no?
Yeah. From what I remember, it was pretty physical. I still don't like. I watched it after it happened, so I knew who the winner was already. But definitely an enjoyable match even then.
Compared to Survivor Series, right? I mean,
Oh, by far, yeah, definitely,
hey, good choice, Keller. That was a great choice.
yeah.
Yes, and let's see, number two. You know, I thought this would be it for the streak, and this was a time when we really got to acknowledge that there was a streak, and we knew there was a streak, and that it could be in jeopardy. And what I'm talking about is Randy Orton versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Randy Orton was in prime legend killer mode. He was being pushed to the moon. And, I mean, I think Randy Orton went out there and proved his worth that night and earned The Undertaker's respect even more if he hadn't already had it. He earned it that night. And, I mean, I really thought Undertaker's streak could be over right then that night, because Randy was the legend killer. He was the legend killer. He had beat so many legends by this time that this match happened. And when this match did happen, I thought that they may let Randy Orton beat The Undertaker. So, I mean, that's another fucking classic, which I believe happened at WrestleMania 21. So, I mean, that's another match I could go watch over and over and over and over again. One of Randy Orton's greatest matches to me. So yeah, Undertaker and Orton is I believe number 2. And so what do y'all guys think about that match, right quick?
Oh no, well, I loved it, but I don't think his streak was mentioned until, I mean,
18.
somebody. There you go. No, wait.
No, I think they teased it.
Was it 18?
In the Orton feud.
No. It was a Ric Flair feud. I think that
it was
mentioned.
It was in 18. He Jerry Lawler mentioned that Undertaker was 10-0, and even Undertaker after the match he went
9-0, 9-0.
Yeah, but when he faced Randy Orton was
at 18.
Later on.
At 18 became 10-0.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but no, you're right. You're right, Mike. Because that was the first time when actually they mentioned the streak, like on the Ric Flair.
But this was the first time I thought it was in jeopardy, though. After they had already, we know it existed, but
agreed.
This was big time jeopardy for it.
If you hear the Bruce Pritchard podcast, the Something to Wrestle, he did mention that they were considering Randy Orton to be the first one to end the streak. They considered him to be the one ending it.
At WrestleMania 21 or after?
At WrestleMania 21. He was the first one to be considered because Taker respected Randy Orton. He respected his style of wrestling. He loved his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton. And remember, the first SmackDown when Randy Orton started, before he became a legend killer, he saw that this kid has a lot of potential. And he saw his heel type of faction. And Taker was considering him all right, I don't mind ending the streak with him. Let's go with it. Because once again, Taker has the mentality to go ahead and put over the young cats.
That's right.
And that's what his mentality was. And so it was Room in Your Window, which was supposed to be Randy Orton, but they switched it off because Vince didn't feel it was the right time. And I heard Randy Orton said no. Then later on, and then it was Edge. Edge was supposed to be another one to be the ending. At was it 27, right? Mike, or 29, right?
24.
24, right? Okay. Always forget this shit, but yeah. So that was another one at the Orange Bowl. It was supposed to be Edge retaining the title against Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship, but that never happened. Because Edge said no.
I'm glad that Edge didn't do it, though. I mean, come on. Edge already was a legend.
Praise to him. No, praise to Edge because he said no, because he respects The Undertaker, and he's like, I'm not the right guy to do it. But Taker said, why not, man? He's my brother, man. Let's just go ahead and do it together. But Edge said no. You got a long way to go, brother, so no. You keep on having your streak. My point is to lose my title to you. I don't want to shock and roll with that. No. I mean, you could tell that Edge doesn't want to have that burden. And then again, it didn't make sense for him to beat Undertaker to retain the belt. So, yeah, I agree. But go ahead. I mean, okay. So I mean, shit. I don't know.
Hey, that's pretty good so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I love all of you guys' top five. Well, I'll start out. My five is.
Hold on a minute. I didn't get my number
shit!
one there.
I thought you were done. Okay,
No,
my apologies.
no. I asked you about Orton Taker.
Beer's talking, ladies and gentlemen. The beer's talking. I had way too many. Go ahead, numero uno.
Numero uno, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, yeah, all respect to the Orton and Taker match, but that couldn't be my number one. I mean, you know, my number one, of course, is the end of the streak. You know, and I know y'all guys probably picked that shit too. Who wouldn't want to pick it? Because to me, when I watched the end of the streak, I remember where I was at. It's one of those things like 9/11 or some shit. You remember where you was at when it happened. I remember where I was at. I was over at my friend's apartment that my girl was renting out to him, and we were sitting there on the couch watching it. And when it happened, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? Is this real? Is this real? Did I fall out? Am I that drunk? Hey, I said, am I that wasted? Somebody fucking peach me or something. I might be asleep. Wake me up. But obviously, man, it happened. I mean, and a lot of people think that it should have never happened. And Brock Lesnar should have never been the guy to do it. But me, personally, I think that it should have happened. And I don't care if you disagree with me or not, because these kind of moments are meant to happen. Like Bruno holding the title for like 8 years and finally losing it and the shock of the crowd. We built this moment up.
To who? Who did he listen to? Who did he listen to?
The WWE.
Who did he listen to? Who did he lose the belt to?
I'm actually gonna look that up.
Pedro Morales.
Oh.
He lost the belt to Pedro Morales.
That's right. But Pedro was a
We gotta
paper
do some
champion, wasn't he? Was it Pedro a paper champ? Was he a transitional champion?
No, because Bruno lost the belt to Pedro Morales.
Oh, I'm thinking about Ivan.
Ivan Koloff. No, I think Pedro Morales. No, wait. Ivan Koloff was the first one? Oh, shit. Now you're kind of right.
And then was Billy Graham then?
No. Billy Graham was right after.
Ivan Koloff is the first man to beat Bruno for the title after that 8-year reign. And
know, I'm going to Google this shit, but go ahead and continue.
But yes, Undertaker, I mean, because nobody expected Brock to do it. Nobody expected Brock Lesnar to beat The Undertaker. He was what, 21-0 at the time? And I mean, nobody expected it to, because after all these years, nobody thought it was going to happen. I mean, and when it happened, TMZ even posted it. It was on TMZ. It was everywhere. Undertaker's streak has been beaten. And the look on the fans' faces. I mean, there's a few fans that even became famous because of that, their reaction. You remember that one black guy that was like...
I actually met a couple of them when I went to WrestleMania Access. They were kind of almost like little celebrities. People would go up to them and take pictures with these people that came out, shocked and whatnot. So yeah, that moment, that's how big that moment is.
And they're part of history because, damn, I wish I was there. I would have been like that too. I would have been like, because it was that fucking legendary, bro.
You're right. Ivan Koloff was the first one, then Pedro Morales was the second one.
Yeah, I was about to say I looked it up.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I knew it.
Billy Graham beat San Martino in '77. Yeah.
But as I was saying, man, Brock to me was the perfect choice to beat the streak if you're gonna have the streak beaten. He's not
I disagree with that.
Everybody, if it's a young guy like Orton, you might expect it.
No, I disagree with it.
But to me, like with Brock, I don't think anybody expected
John Cena. John Cena should have been the one. I'm sorry. John
I don't know.
No,
I was
no,
maybe
no.
Sting. It
Maybe
had to
young
be
John
Sting.
Cena.
No,
For me, it was
maybe
Sting.
young John
No,
Cena.
I think no, because no, it makes sense why it should have been John Cena. Why are you gonna have a badass Brock Lesnar go ahead and beat
I'm gonna
him?
tell you what. This is why I think Brock was the perfect pick, because Brock is a legit former UFC champion. He is a two-time NCAA champion, a legit beast, a badass, a monster who had been built up like nobody else. And I mean, nobody else ever in WWE history has been built up as dominant as Brock Lesnar. So for anybody to even think about beating the Undertaker at WrestleMania, you better have that resume of being a former UFC champion or being legit a domination since he debuted. Since he debuted, Brock Lesnar ain't held no other titles but world titles. Brock Lesnar has whooped everybody's ass. Brock Lesnar has been the beast incarnate, the domination.
Because that was given to him. That was given to him.
If you're
All
going
of
to
that
beat
shit
the
was given to
Undertaker,
him.
if you're going to
UFC
beat
title,
the
though.
Undertaker,
No,
no, not the UFC
really,
title.
Randy Couture? Are you fucking kidding me?
A
Randy
legend.
Couture, a legend that should have retired after he beat. Who did he beat for the belt? A nobody. Honestly, where's he at now? Where the fuck is he at now? And then okay, Lesnar goes there and takes the belt. Like Randy Couture he should have retired. But no, Dana White keep pressuring his ass. You're a top name. You're a top dollar. We need your fucking name to be there.
He
So,
could have
yes,
said no.
Go ahead. Yeah, but money talks. Money talks.
He's like in the Undertaker situation with the UFC back then. But
No, but Vince McMahon made a fucking mistake. For why would you do that? Look, all right, you guys saying no, John Cena. That's the case.
I'm not saying no to John Cena.
John Cena would have been perfect.
I'm saying
if it would have happened.
It makes sense with John Cena.
If he was younger, bro.
Yeah, it should have been John Cena then. WrestleMania 30 should have been John Cena.
See, but Brock Lesnar, the way he is, everybody knows he's a legit badass outside the world of professional wrestling. And in real life, you wouldn't want to fucking approach Brock Lesnar and try to fight him. I mean, you think John Cena gets into a UFC octagon and wins? No, I think he gets his ass whooped just because he got built up so big in WWE. I mean, if you want to throw kayfabe out the window, then it's perfect for Brock to beat Taker because Taker got beat by a legit badass. Taker is a badass. Taker had an undefeated streak of 21-0 at the time, and for anybody to beat him, it needed to be a legit badass to beat him and end that streak and give those fans that shocking ass moment. Whether anybody likes it or not, it was a great fucking moment, and it'll live on in history forever. And that's
unfortunately, it's already stamped on. But either way, let's say if it didn't happen, that I would have just left it, whatever it is, and 0, and like leave it alone. That would have been a monumental. I
can see that too. But
it had the only way for me was because if he lost it, if the streak was ended by Sting, that would have been the most moment in.
That don't make any sense either. Why you gonna have Sting end it? No, it should have been. For me, it should have been
Cena.
Take it to Cena more because Cena. Why? Because Cena was the next one.
I don't think Cena was. No.
Who else you would have chosen?
And the great thing,
who you would have chosen the roster that would have taken it besides Brock Lesnar and John Cena?
Because with Sting, it could have been they could have really played up the gimmicks a little bit more with the whole crow thing, and Undertaker could come full dead man gimmick, and they could have just made it really a very showy supernatural
Sting wasted
match.
all his rest of his good years. Sting wasted the rest of his good years in Impact, bro.
Yeah, that's very true.
He should have not been fucking
around. He should have come there sooner.
No, but Sting doesn't.
And they wouldn't have let him. They wouldn't have let a WCW guy beat Taker anyway.
No, exactly.
That wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, but
Triple H. He couldn't even beat Triple H.
Yeah, but the point is passing his torch on in WWE, not about outside of WWE roster. It's not about in WWE roster.
But as far as the streak being beaten, I think that it needed to happen so we could have that moment, that shock moment that shocked us all.
Well, that's the kid that should have happened in his retirement, but not Roman Reigns. No.
Hell,
No, hell no.
Seth Rollins. I would have given it to Seth Rollins.
Hell, not even
No.
Rollins. No, but
No,
not
not
even
even
Rollins.
The
No,
Monday Night Messiah? No.
no. I would have given it to AJ. That's the case. Then AJ to that, so he could walk away with his career. Then he could say he's done, and then take her out, drop the pen, drop the mic. That'll be it.
but let's talk about the end after the streak ended. Like, you guys think that Bray Wyatt should have beat Taker? Because
That would have been interesting.
I
That
don't
would have been.
think so
I actually
at
would
the
have liked
time. A lot
that.
of people do.
I would have
but
liked
I
that.
think-
I mean, a lot of people did because the fact is that everybody saw he was the next Undertaker, which I agree. I mean, I agree that
The
he is
gimmick.
the gimmick. He's
Fiend.
the next Fiend. But see, remind you guys that this is something that we didn't know that he was going to become this later on.
Don't you wish the Fiend was around back then?
And
Holy
that-
shit.
Yeah, I gotta
Yes.
say so.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that because it would have made sense if that would have happened. Because then
Just
from
not red
there,
lighting. No red lighting, please.
no,
Let
yeah,
me
no,
tell you what,
yeah,
if
that's some
Brock,
Kane shit.
if it wasn't Brock that done it, I would have wished that the Fiend would have been around at the time instead of the Bray Wyatt character that was around at the time. And I would have wished that the Fiend would have ended the streak if the Fiend was around at that time, but he wasn't. So, I mean, a legit badass former UFC champion, two-time NCAA champion. I mean, I got to go with it, man. I got to go with Brock, man, because Taker's getting beat by somebody that isn't weak, that we know that.
I'm not calling
proven
him weak. I
winner.
ain't saying none of that shit. He's not a winner for me. I mean, he's a winner, but he's not a winner for me when he fights old ass people and wins the fucking belt.
He didn't fight only old people.
But Brock Lesnar,
And then
man,
what
his
happened after
career
that? He
is
got his ass-
legendary, bro.
You know what? I'm not even gonna get into Brock Lesnar. They said about Brock Lesnar. First of all, this is about.
This is
Undertaker.
not about Brock.
It's not about Brock Lesnar. I'm not gonna get into that. This is about Mark
Defended
Calloway.
his title.
Yeah, but he kiss my ass, Brock Lesnar.
All right.
But all right,
so
all
here we
right.
go.
Here we go. All right. Number 5.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 5 for me would it be obviously his debut.
Yeah.
His debut was precious. Was like, oh shit, like in WWE. I'm talking about, not in any other organization in WWE. The Survivor Series when he showed up, and it was amazing. With a Million Man Ted DiBiase, I loved it, and he pulled it off. The character he pulled it off. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And that was the beginning because everybody was like, "Is this guy real?" Like, even when I was a kid, I was like, "Man, he was creepy as fuck." I'm scared. I was like that. That's how I was. So I mean, definitely number 5. Number 4 for me, to be honest, was really the first time when he, not the first. For me, you guys obviously know that the first time when he won it, he beat Hogan. But I don't consider that me for the first time. I think the first time that he actually was happy and actually wanted with prestige was at WrestleMania 13 versus Psycho Sid. You guys remember that when he beat Psycho Sid for the championship belt? You saw him like he went back to old school to gray and black instead of going purple and black. And he hasn't used that color in a long time since he went purple and black. And then he started using the great gloves. I think that was his prestige moment because I think Taker considered that more his first title run compared to the one he beat Hogan because that one was a short term. It didn't last that long. So I think that was like his long-term moment. I think that was like my favorite moments to see him because I was a big Undertaker at the time already. So from there, that's for me was one of them. And so then from there, so number 3 for me would be, yeah, I mean, I will have to go with the era was him and Mankind. I can't mention the Hell in a Cell, the Boiler Room match. Or no, the Buried Alive match, actually, was the first Buried Alive match we ever had. Was between
In Your House.
At In Your House pay-per-view called Buried Alive. That was the first one. I think everybody enjoyed it, and I loved it. I was just amazed about it. I was like, oh my God. I don't know what to say about it. Like, shit. I was just so happy about it.
And when he reached his arm up through the grave.
Yeah, I think that for me that one was the scariest part. Like what Like when he came out with the hand, like
That's crazy how they done that though. Like he was really up under that
to
dirt.
this day, nobody wants to expose how it works. But we all have ideas.
He had to have oxygen mask put in there or something, man.
I don't know how that's what I think.
They have like a compartment, and he's got like it's like a submarine breathing space.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I mean, I could say that that was like my number 3, right? That was my number 3, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, number 3. Okay. Number 2. Whoo, that's a tough one. Number 2 actually was when it was the Ministry of Darkness, and
that's my favorite right there.
I love that one, especially the one when Stone Cold saved Stephanie McMahon on Raw. Like I love that one. That was like one of my favorite moments.
The Sarah
yeah, everybody there. Like I loved it because Austin came to save Stephanie. You see Stephanie hugging Austin. Austin was like, "Hey, I ain't gonna touch you." Nope. And then obviously within that time, I did like how Vince is like, where is he? Where son of a bitch? Where's he go? Go, 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 go! I remember. Everybody remember that shit. I love that one.
Vince.
That was fucking hilarious. But I think my top one, honestly, whether you guys like it or not, I have 2 of them though. That's a tie. There's 2 ties to it. So I'm gonna mention 2 ties. One, the one I felt was the best one of all time, and then the honorable mention. So the one is for me is Taker Shawn Michaels 25. Not the second one, the first one. The first one was something we haven't seen in a long time, and something that finally for the first time it was a teaser. If you guys recall, remember the Royal Rumble teaser when they were the last 2. And then it turns out it ended up being Mike. What throw that for you? Bag of chips?
Oh, it fell from the heavens.
Oh,
Some candy.
Oh, Captain throw you over there.
Yes, Captain Delivery.
Captain Delivery. I don't know what he did. So I think that was like one of my favorite moments because I love the entrance of Heaven and Hell. How Shawn Michaels was coming from above the heavens and Taker from coming.
Oh
hell.
yeah.
I think that was like the best match and the best entrance of all time, and it explained it. That was really a Heaven and Hell match. Obviously, Taker won. I don't want to get into that religion part because that's not what we're talking about. But I love that. I love that story. I love everything how was involved in it. So that was my number 1. But the honorable mention I will give would be Taker passing the torch to Stone Cold Steve Austin in SummerSlam 1999. If you correct me if I'm wrong, right? 98, 99, right? I
believe so.
Yeah, no, Mike got it right because Mike's more on it than I am. But yes, that was a great match too. That was a really phenomenal match, and I think for me that was the first time that Taker lost legitimately. 1, 2, 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but I think that was one of the first times that I see Taker get pinned legitimately by finishing move, ending 1, 2, 3, with no interference, none of that. I mean, yes or am I wrong or no? I mean, gentlemen, am I correct or that or no?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I believe.
All right.
We'd have to fact check that. I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say
I don't recall him losing legitimately, like without interference, as a babyface or as a heel, because there's always an interruption on heel. Like, even in the Golden Era, I didn't see him lose like legitimately. I don't recall that. I mean, I have to go back and look at it.
Damn, yeah, I'm trying to think myself. When was the first time Undertaker lost? Like, legitimately, I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't recall when he lost like legitimately in the Golden Era. But I prefer him more in that Attitude Era because when he was like how you said Matt like with the theme song that was my favorite theme song by the way. I think that was like my best one overall. like that. I love that one. Because the guitar, man, and then with the violins too, like going with it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. All right, so who is next?
Yeah, who you got next for us there? What's
Captain.
this, number one?
Captain.
Wait a minute.
That was my number one.
Oh, you done your number one? All right.
That was
Wait a
it.
minute. Can I say just a few honorable mentions? I'm not gonna say anything about them, but I'll just say it. But let's see. Yeah, Undertaker winning the Royal Rumble and throwing out Shawn Michaels. That was a good one.
That was cool.
Undertaker coming down with the bat wings. Like, he had bat wings. Like, he came down from the fucking ceiling, bro. That was badass.
You know he regretted that, right?
I want to rewatch that though.
I love that, man. That
was Survivor
cool as fuck.
Series.
That was cool as fuck. And then when he said, "Buckle up, Teddy," and he kidnapped Teddy Long. And then the Phenom rises when they thought they had Taker in the cast and Taker was dead. And then on the screen you see like his ghost and like he starts floating up. Remember that shit?
Oh, I gotta send you the clip about Conrad going on.
I'll take a restroom and I'm gonna run back real quickly.
Yeah, go for it. You gotta hear the one that Conrad was telling Bruce Pritchard about. Like, he's like, "Why the fuck you gotta make him go to heaven if he's from hell?" Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was weird, man. That was weird.
And Bruce was like, "Well, like that's the spirit going away. Like, but he's from hell. God damn it, he's supposed to be going to hell. Like, why you gotta make him race?" I'll send you the clip if I find it, man. I have to go look back at it.
Oh man, yeah, man, that's a weird one. A lot of people think that was like, I don't know. At the time in that era, like that was like a hologram to those people or some shit, you know. Also, another honorable mention. Taker putting Stone Cold up on his Undertaker symbol.
Oh yeah, the first time we see, that was like on a Raw. Like,
that was crazy, man. He also put Stephanie on one. I mean, like,
well, yeah,
wow,
but he put it up high. That was a Stone Cold Cable Saber. That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah. And then another one was when the Undertaker returned with Paul Bearer after all those years, without Paul Bearer, and after Undertaker had been gone a long time, and he returned at WrestleMania 20 to face Kane again. I mean, that was good too, bro.
I think I love that one because nobody expected it. You know, I don't think anybody expected it. I thought everybody thought it was going to be like just him by himself. But when I heard, oh yeah, so I'm like, oh shit, Uncle Paul, you know. So I was happy.
That's right. Hey, Undertaker deserves one more thing since he's such an icon, man. Can we all try the eye roll right quick? I'll take my shades off for you. Ready?
Oh my God! Wait! Mike, you gotta say it. You gotta say it.
He took his eyes. Well, I don't know. Wait.
He took his eyes.
He took his sunglasses off.
He took his sunglasses off.
You see it here first. You gotta say it.
He took his sunglasses off.
I can see, damn it.
Wait, what were we gonna say? I forgot.
We're gonna do the Undertaker. We're gonna do the Undertaker eye roll.
But before that, it's like Mike has to see it. You're seeing it here first. That Josh Bret Horn, Mr. Killer, took off his sunglasses for the first time ever in a Circle with the Debate podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, look at his eyes.
Hey, that's for respect for the Undertaker. That's only for respect for the Undertaker, man. Only for out of respect for the Undertaker. That's how much respect I got for the Undertaker. But that's why I want to do this eye roll for him. So let's see it. Let's see the fucking eye rolls in 3, 2, 1. Y'all doing it?
I did it.
Yeah, I did it a little bit.
I hope mine did pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have small eyes, bro.
Hey, man, you gotta do stuff like that on special occasions for a tribute to like a legend, man. Got to.
Mike, your thoughts?
Okay. Where's my list? Where's
There
my
you go. I had to save him for last.
Okay. Now
See, I was drunk for a
It
second.
just-
Wait a minute, I was drunk,
it-
man. I thought he
it
already
just-
went.
No, I had to save
My
Mike
bad,
for
Mike. My
last.
bad.
No, because that
it
was
goes to show. It goes.
I had to save Mike for last because
Yeah, bro. I
remind
would've done all
you,
those- I would've done all
remind
those
you.
honorable mentions if I
But
would have thought that he
yeah, but
already went.
see, remind you that Mike is the hero of all heroes. He's everybody's hero. That's why I have to say the hero of last. He's gonna save us from these top 5.
Oh, okay. Now, it goes to show just how many great Undertaker moments there are that we just could spend all night just talking about them and going over all of them because that's
Right.
how much this man has done in professional wrestling without needing to go to any other company with this character. My top 5, starting with all due respect to rest in peace, Big Boss Man. Number 5 is the Boss Man hanging. I remember watching this and I was like, how did they do that? You know, it was it kind of it showed how menacing that character can be, how dark it could get. You know, you'll never see anything like that, not even close nowadays.
I'll never do that again.
You know,
You'll
I
never
even
do that
think
again.
Ever.
it
Not
was
this era.
like horror, like like horror movie sort of thing. And you know, that's the wide range that this character has. Number 4, I remember at the end of Triple H's and The Rock's Iron Man match, the final countdown going down, and then the Undertaker coming out in a motorcycle, something at the time nobody thought would happen. For me,
American badass.
and
I
the
remember
thing
that.
is, I remember that song, and I didn't even know that it was Metallica. I was like, I was surprised.
Kid
but
Rock, but they used the
Sound
the
of Truth.
sample.
sample.
Yeah, but true.
Yeah.
You call me
Yeah.
cowboy. I'm a singer in black.
It was a cool thing there with the music, and I feel like it went so well.
Say, hey,
Yeah, it was cool, very cool.
Hey.
Number 3, his return at WrestleMania 20 as the Dead Man. I remember I was a senior in high school, and that was the talk of the school there, of all us professional wrestling fans, that the Undertaker's coming, but he's coming back as the dark character, as the Dead Man. After years of seeing the American Badass, and here he comes back with the character of the undead Undertaker. It was a great moment. And what a lot of credit to Kane that he kind of built up this match just by looking at a screen and pretending to be scared at it, because we didn't actually see the Undertaker since Survivor Series of the year before. So great moment there. Number 2, we have Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. And what hasn't been said about this match? I feel that if you're going to have a course in wrestling history, this match has to be one of the topics. It has to have its own chapter, everything leading up to it and everything that happened after it, not just the match itself, which was awesome. So definitely WrestleMania 25. And number 1, which already caused a discussion here in Circle of Debate, is the streak, the end of the streak.
Ugh.
How you like that, Ivan?
Okay. I like that Brock Lesnar ended it. However,
Well, you know what? Y'all kiss my ass, because no, hey, I'm going, damn, what you guys say.
however,
No.
Am I the
No.
only one who thinks Sting should have ended it?
No.
I will say that I do think it would have been more interesting if John Cena would have ended it.
Thank you. Thank you.
He already got pushed enough, though. That's why.
And I'm starting, and I'm gonna start an idea here with Circle of Debate. You heard it here first.
You gotta do the finger.
You heard it here first. I would like to see a Circle of Debate. How would we book that moment?
Ooh, I want that. I actually second that.
How would you have booked the screw job? How would you have booked the streak? How would you have booked all these big moments?
I've been waiting for this.
I would like to see something like that. But
I like that.
Wait.
We should make that a series, though, Ivan. Like how we would book.
Right, we don't want to do that. If we do that, man, I might get a call from WWE and I might have to leave the show.
There you go.
So here we go.
Wait, so you want to? All right, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. My fault.
Here's how I would have booked the end of the streak.
Okay.
Pretty simple, really, but it's with John Cena. So John Cena, they have the match, the build-up, and he doesn't want to give in to the hates and all that stuff. But at the moment, the referee's knocked down, and then all of a sudden we see John Cena low below the Undertaker and give him a tombstone power driver for the win. Heel Cena starts right there. If they wanted a moment that the streak ends and then you get heel Cena finally, it'll rival Bash at the Beach 1996, in my opinion, because he would have been the most hated man in wrestling. He was already. This would have taken it to a whole other level.
See now, I could see that from Mike's point of view with Cena. If Cena turned heel during the match and did the low blow to Taker, I could see that. I would pick that over the Brock shit. Yeah, if Cena would turn heel.
Because when he was being booed, like for example at ECW One Night Stand, yes, you had the people there booing him and fuck you Cena and all that great stuff, but you still had the kids rooting for him. But if you have him turn on someone like The Undertaker, who's beloved by everyone, you have the kids, you have the hardcore fans, you have everybody booing the Undertaker.
And then you could put over new baby faces with that. That like heels that everybody hates are perfect for putting over like new baby faces.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is with that though is that there's no way to turn John Cena heel, like because one, obviously, you already had Cena face already. He's a controversial face already. People didn't like him. We saw that on ECW. We saw that on prior events before. I saw it myself when I was there at the Staples Center when Daniel Bryan won his WWE Championship against John Cena at SummerSlam. I was there too. I was up there and saw that. I was like, yes, because I'm a big Daniel Bryan fan. And I was next to a kid. And like, go John Cena, go John. Shut up. No. Like, and it was me and one of Max Robert saw. We went together. We would go see the event. He's like, yeah, man, John Cena, the other Hulk Hogan. Screw that. Man, the kid was like, you shut up. And I like, we loved it. We love that. But see, we didn't cuss at the kid. We were like, yeah, like we knew we were with the parents and kids, and like they respected it. But why John Cena makes sense because he was the one that came from Ruthless Aggression era, alongside with Lesnar, alongside with Randy Orton, alongside with Batista and everybody else, JBL, everybody else. Like I mentioned, everybody in the Ruthless Aggression era. But Cena was the one because he didn't turn. Like, I mean, yes, in the beginning when he started, was a baby face, but a lower card baby face. Then he became a mid card heel. Then from coming to heel, people started liking him, and he became a baby face. From there, he should have been the one to just, for his career, would have been great for him and continued on. Even though people would hate him, I think he would have been more respected than Roman Reigns, I'll tell you that. Or than Brock Lesnar, I'll tell you that. He would have been more respectful than him because it makes sense. Because he's a WWE guy. He's a WWE guy that actually, all right, I went through all this. and these trials and tribulations, why not have John Cena do it? Like,
but Lesnar is also a WWE guy.
yeah,
you know?
but
He was
okay.
coming back from UFC, so it was like he was starting all over again.
As a part fucking time. He was gonna come there full time. He was gonna become there full time. Cena was already there full time. Lesnar was not. That's the only difference of it. Cena was already there full time, sacrificing his career and whatever he has to do. You know, he didn't go to the movies yet right after. Like he did, like he was still there from 30. That should have been him instead of him Bray Wyatt.
Listen,
like I'm just saying.
You got to think of it this way also, and I'll end it with this. With this thought that countless times we've seen John Cena lose clean even, and
yep,
someone like Brock Lesnar, who is a part-time or was a part-timer, whatever. It's rare to see Brock
is a part-timer. Is
a part-timer. It's more rare to see Brock lose clean than John Cena. So, by taking that burden and that credibility of the streak and passing it on to Brock Lesnar to have some, or at the time, to have had somebody else beat Brock Lesnar clean would have meant that that person gets the rub of the streak and of beating Brock. I don't know if that makes sense.
That's right.
It makes sense. It makes sense what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing on that. Unfortunately, I can't disagree with it. I'm just saying that I felt it should have been John Cena.
Think about it. When Brock done it, he built him up so strong, man, that when he put over people, man, it made them even bigger. And you know what I mean? Really, if he puts it, honestly, like, Lesnar is like he's stuck in Taker's role now. Like, he only shows up when there's a big match, and when he shows up, and if he does put over somebody, that's a big moment for whoever he puts over.
Well, I mean, yeah, Lesnar right now, he's doing that like once a fucking year. I mean, he already put over what? He put on Drew McIntyre, obviously, this year, WrestleMania. Last year, he put Rollins last year.
Yeah, and he has the whole Beast Slayer gimmick.
Yeah, well, we should give him the whole Beast Slayer.
Hey, Brock earned it though, man. He
I'm not saying. Look, I ain't saying that he doesn't earn anything. I'm not saying that. I never said that. All I'm just saying that. I'm just saying is he did not earn the right to kill Taker Street. That's what I'm saying. Other than that, his other earnings, great. I agree with what Mike's saying about that. And it's unfortunate I have to do what Mike's saying that, but I feel like still does not earn for him to Taker to be taking away his streak.
Also, you got to remember, Taker has a lot of respect also for Lesnar, man. They're friends and all kind of shit.
I know they're best friends.
Yeah, they're cool.
But Vince was the one that convinced them. It wasn't Taker. Taker was like, I don't know. I don't think he's the right one. Vince was like, it's good shit.
That's good shit.
But I think Taker could have put his foot down if he wanted to and be like, no.
Well, you think he would? Because that's his boss, man. He's like, whatever, man.
Nah, Taker has so much.
Because he has
a lot of sway.
Because he did say on watching he did say there was a lot of disagreements that they had, and he didn't agree upon it, and they collided a lot. So, but obviously they became mutual about a certain situation, So,
but also when they set out to make Brock Lesnar the next big thing.
He was already the next big thing already in UFC.
Yeah, he was, but now he's even elevated even more. This Brock Lesnar now is right up there with Taker.
Oh yeah, look, Lesnar's up there, but it's fucking boring for me. For him to come in over and over and over, but
as a character,
I ain't talking about Lesnar.
Yeah,
anyways.
he's not that. Well,
it's like Christmas, like Paul Heyman said. He comes on special occasions. You don't see him wrestling every night on Monday Night Raw.
No, because he lost
him when you need to see
You could tell he lost the passion. He didn't give a shit about it. He's just there for the money.
Oh, he never loved the business, man. He never loved the business. Yeah. He done it. It is a job to him. He doesn't say it on
and that's what I dislike about it.
I don't like that either.
I don't like it either because you're disrespecting the people,
Yeah, I don't like
sport
it
that
either,
I
but
love. You going
at
over
the
there to
same
do
time,
5 suplexes, 1 F5, and get a belt. That was it, and then come back 2 months later.
Or his
Kiss
match
my
with
fucking
McIntyre where it was just spamming finishers.
Well, that's not supposed to be, anyways, because he don't know how to wrestle legit anymore. He lost that passion.
It's like he gets blown up or something like
I'd rather
that.
have Brock
Vince
back. I'd rather
doesn't
have
want him to
Brock
do
back
that.
though than not have Brock.
But like I said, like, this is not about Vince. I mean, this is not about Brock Lesnar. It's about Undertaker. So, I mean, yeah, that was the debate that we're having now.
But one day, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we do top 5 greatest Brock Lesnar moments because Brock Lesnar is one of the greatest of all time.
If he comes back, we will.
What do you say, Ivan?
Well, I want to do it because there were certain Lesnar matches I do like. So, but
What would you like?
Samoa Joe Lesnar.
Part of history, man. Part of history.
no, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not hating Lesnar's history. I just don't like the fact how they brought.
I know.
everything.
I know.
That's
Hey,
the only
hey, hey, hey! It's called Circle of Debate for a
That's
reason.
why. I know we were debating for a reason.
And hey, sometimes you got to be wrong, Ivan. I mean, it's just.
Hey, I don't mind being wrong, man. I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind being wrong because hey, I mean, look. So MGC corrected me on some shit in with Japan. I'm like, I don't know my shit. I know much as I can. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for joining this Sunday's a great fun debate about the Undertaker's review and obviously our top 5 moments of the Undertaker. We appreciate you guys very much. Thank you so much for our subscribers for tuning in and our future subscribers as well. Don't forget to tune down to the channel. And we will see you next week. And this time we will be discussing about our top 5 faction coming up next week, an episode of week 9. And then episode 9 next week, we'll go ahead and discuss about the aftermath of day 1 of Fighter Fest AEW pay-per-view. And we'll give you our thoughts about that. And also, obviously, with the New Japan Cup coming up, the quarterfinals, we'll get through that as well. And what's going on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and and pro wrestling, news around the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is your host, this is the Devious One, alongside with Killer of all killers and the American hero, the hero of all heroes right there, and then Mr. MGC saying good night. And we'll see you on Friday night.
Salud.
Salud. Cheers.
This ain't vodka.
Stop lying, you know what it is.
I wish.
Good night, everybody.
You don't give a fuck about us, eh? You don't give a fuck if I can't spell right. And I spell it with an R when I'm writing things down. You know what I know how to spell? Circle of Debate.